Carol Kornacki is a familiar name and a favorite guest on this program. Someone who has survived so many destructive influences not only has an unforgettable story, but a burning desire to help others avoid the same path or escape the clutches of the one Jesus called the thief who comes only to steal, kill, and destroy. A soul for sale is a true story. Many of you have heard it, but we're pleased to be able to just recap before we explore some of the issues that Carol is speaking to, particularly to young people around the world right now. And it is a survivor story, Carol. It always will be.
Yes, absolutely. It doesn't seem to get old.
Welcome back.
Thank you for having me.
You know, I found it hard to actually read the details in the chapters. It's not exaggerated and sadly not rare. You are meeting the young people who could write some of these chapters.
And worse stories, worse scenarios than even mine. I mean, people that read this book are like, oh my gosh, I had to put it down, I had to walk away. You went through so much. Yeah. Abuse as a child, 9 years old, sexually abused, beaten by the parents, not loved, you know, living in an environment of rodents and bugs and not enough food to eat. And, you know the story, going out and getting involved early and promiscuous and getting pregnant as a teenager, having a baby, having her taken away because of drug addiction, getting pregnant again, having an abortion. You know, always running, always looking for something. And finally one day throwing my hands up and saying, my soul is for sale. I've had everything happen to me. I've been beaten, I've been abused, I've been used, I've had abortions, I've had a baby taken away. Nobody loves me. And if they do, it's just for a few minutes. I want something new. And selling, literally, saying to the devil, if you are going to give me more, then you can have my soul. That's why the book has that title. And just going out and drug addiction, mental illness, more abortions, more brokenness. I mean, it just keeps going. Depression, suicidal behavior, self-inflicting, trying to feel something. I can remember more taking a brush and scratching myself and thinking, I just want to feel something.
You know, that was an insight. I forgot about this. I mean, there's not much that your story misses in terms of the things that are happening with our youth today. But you say, when I got back home, I stood in front of a mirror and called myself every name in the book. Then in a rage, I scraped the skin off my neck and arms with my nails. I was empty and lifeless. The searing pain from the deep scratches felt good. I could feel something, which was far better than not feeling anything at all. Is that the psychology of cutting?
I think there's many different psychologies when it comes to cutting. Hating yourself, as in my case, feeling something when you feel nothing, just trying to release emotions. And a lot of it is, I deserve this. I deserve to feel this, or trying to release yourself from some situation or some person you feel locked into. A girl will do that. Maybe she's locked into her family. Her mother's overbearing, so she'll cut herself. I'm in control. When I feel pain, I control that pain.
Do you remember what was happening? This was another little epiphany. I had forgotten, not about Marilyn, the daughter you didn't abort,
no,
but who was taken away from you. I didn't realize how close you came to kidnapping her.
Yes, I did. And at the time they took her away, I was a drug addict, and she should have been taken away. She had to be taken. My behavior. I never did a thing to that child, but I wasn't there. I didn't love her. I didn't know how to love. How can you love when you've never been loved? You can't give something you've never received. And so when they took her away, she should have been gone. And so after a while, I would get in this drug state, and I think, I want my baby. So I would go to where she is, to the foster home, break through the gate sometimes, try to pull her up over the gate and take her. One time I went pounding on the door and the police removed me because I had no right to be there. So, and then you would feel this, see, I'm no good. I don't even deserve my own child. And I was just barely out of my teens. Was I 19, 20 we're talking about? And I went home, and again, I'd take that brush and just scratch myself. This is what I deserve, because I can't even have my own flesh and blood. So this hurting thing, and the young men and different ages are burning themselves. Where a girl would cut herself, the young men will burn themselves with cigarettes. They got to be macho in their self-inflicted, you know, non-suicidal.
Now here's another bad
It's
turn.
sad, isn't it?
You chose to marry.
Yes.
For some stability, I'm sure to belong.
Yes.
Somewhere.
Yes.
That you were wanted. And that right from the first night was a...
You remember the book very well. Yeah. I think we had a fight. We did, as a matter of fact, have a fight the first night.
Yep.
We went
wedding night.
Sorry. Yeah, it was the wedding night. You usually go home, and you know that's the most beautiful, blissful night of your whole life. Mine, we went home, tore the house apart, beat each other up, made holes in the wall, and got high and went to bed. So went to sleep. Actually, the point is, I thought if I could have someone in my life, it would stabilize me. This was my affirmation. I have this man, we were young, who loves me, and now I'm affirmed. Now I don't have to go out into the streets and be promiscuous. Now I have someone here that is going to be my husband, and we're going to have a family. Well, you know how that went. I got pregnant, and he didn't want the child, so I had an abortion.
And that abortion really put you over the edge. You wanted that baby.
Yes, I did, very much.
Following through with that abortion is what really led to depression and
suicide. Yeah, attempts of suicide. Once I came to him and said, listen, we're going to have a baby. Isn't that wonderful? And he said, I ain't having no baby. What are you talking? We're drug addicts. I'm not having a baby. I was so desperate. I was like, I'll do anything. I'll quit the drugs. I'll make my life right. I'll throw the needles away. I'll stop everything. I'll eat right. He said, I'm not having a kid. I'm done. Another rejection. Rejection from my dad. Rejection my whole life. And now my husband is saying, I'm not having a child. I don't know what you're going to do, but I'm going to work. And when I get home, be empty. Well, that threw me into... Once I got home from the abortion clinic, that started with the guns. You know, putting the guns into my mouth, putting them to my neck, wanting to die. This, I am not worth the flesh I'm put together with. I'm a bad person. I'm a drug addict. I'm a witch. I've got demons. I've got these spirits screaming at me because I was operating that psychic.
Now, where did the occult come in? Where did you turn to supernatural power as hopefully some kind of...
About 18, I started...
Hope in your life.
Yeah, that was a hope
really?
Too. Maybe God's in this, because that's the deception. Maybe God is in this. Maybe God is giving me this information about this person whose cards I'm reading. Maybe God is going to make me feel better about myself, because when I walk in a room, they go, there she is. She's a psychic. She can read you. So I felt that false pride. I'm somebody now. Well, whenever you dance with the devil, you know, he trips you after a while. And after the involvement, after all the things I said, and this is what the kids are doing again. You know yourself.
Here's the Barna research from 2002. 86% of kids watch supernatural-themed movies or TV shows on a regular basis. And by the way, the lineup this fall, there've never been so many psychic phenomenon, demonic things. 66% said they participated in at least one occult-oriented activity. And as you say in your book, one round on the Ouija board can be enough to open the door to satanic involvement in your life.
I tell people all the time, I say, you know, the devil is a worthy adversary. And they get mad at me. Well, you shouldn't say that. Defeated by the blood of Jesus. But he knows what he's doing. Look at the condition of some things with our youth and with adults and the world. He knows what he's doing. And what he does so accurately is sets you up. You're going to have power, because everybody wants to experience power. I just talked to a big group of young people, and I said to them, you're looking for supernatural power. Well, I'm introducing you to Jesus Christ, who has supernatural power. So in their quest for power, as was mine at 18 years old, I wanted to be strong. I wanted to be tough. I wanted to be accepted. I wanted to see. Well, when you start, as I said, dancing with the devil, suddenly spirits come around and about you, because it all comes from spirits. You want spiritual strength. You want supernatural strength. You got a toy with a supernatural environment, and the supernatural environment of darkness and witchcraft and paganism and vampirism and Harry Potter and all of that You have to deal with the spirits in order to be enhanced with power. And the sad things that most people don't understand is these spirits don't like you. The devil doesn't want to share anything with anybody. He's never going to do you any favors. He'll use you, and when you think you've gotten to that place, he'll trip you and he'll kill you, because never truer words were spoken than you said earlier when we were praying, that he comes to kill, steal, and destroy. So that quest for power, that desire to find out the secret things, the hidden things, ultimately
turns sour.
You bet they do.
So you had significance initially.
Oh yeah, I thought I did.
You were somebody. When did it become frightening and destructive?
One night I was alone. I think it was a Halloween night. And I was in a room, and I was so thrown with what I'm going to do and how am I going to live my life and what's going on and where I'm at, and I became frightened. And a dark power came over the top of me. Now, mind you, when I was into witchcraft, I never thought I was doing anything wrong. I never saw it as evil, and that's the deception. That's so important that people get that. This is just fun. This is just games. This isn't going to hurt anyone. I was alone in that room, and I felt this dark blanket. And in that moment, because I had also developed another personality. I had a multiple personality disorder. So that particular spirit, and then this spirit that came over on my head, began to speak to me and make demands on me and give it all to me. And you're going to have to give it all. Do you want it all? And in as much as I went along with that, and the book talks about it, there was a frightening moment, that definitive moment that I thought, this is dark. But do I want this? And I entered in. And that's when I became so involved and started realizing that the power was dark. I remember doing a reading and being very ugly to the woman. She had had an abortion. Nobody knew it, but that evil spirit that was with me did. And I brought it to her attention in front of everyone and humiliated her. And I can tell you honestly, I got alone and I thought, what's happening to me? She was crying. How could you say that in front of everyone? It's in your cards. I said, I read it. Just evil behavior. And she was weeping. I lost that baby. I lost. And I remember going in the car. We were in Erie. I'll never forget. In fact, we were in Canada. I was in a cottage by Lake Erie, and I was reading cards. And I remember riding home and thinking, I've become an evil person. I hurt people. I'm not just reading these cards. I'm getting information that's secret, and I'm hurting people with it. So I started to see that there was an evil side to my interest.